get into contracts that aren't good. All kinds of stuff like that can happen when you're young in the industry and you really don't know what's what yet. You haven't seen a lot of things. So I would say focus very simply on the core things that you're hearing from these folks. Social media, quality broadcasting, networking, that really helps.
The rest of it will come later, and it'll come naturally. And when you're a small broadcaster, don't be reaching out to all these companies being like, sponsor me, because you're a small broadcaster. You still need to get your foot in the door. You need to create a foundation for yourself. You need to figure out who you are, too. You might have a sense of who you are, but that is going to drastically change in a year or two or 3. My brand has been all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but I've changed the person. I have my core things, but the games that I play, the people that I surround myself with, I don't know if that's all changed. So stick with the basics and then go from there.
Okay, cool. Another question, just related to the brand, and for example, like you settle on your brand, then you go to Twitch, you go to YouTube, you find maybe that identity might be taken by the character, and you're unable to sort of like claim, I guess, your unique identifier specific to the brand. I mean, I've seen streamers that don't have a unique identifier link, for example, twitch.com/user Lolrenaynay. Yeah, if your brand and the brand that you want is taken or whatever, you go to something else because that having that identifier is so important.
I mean, I would say unique is important. It really is. You don't want someone to search. When someone searches Sevadus on Google, they see me, and that's it.
Right? Whether it's YouTube or Twitch or Twitter,
Yeah, it's always
have variations of it. That seems to confuse them. So.
Yeah, I think. Oh, are you saying like so it might have to be Sevadus Twitch sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, occasionally. I haven't in video games all the time.
Yeah,
We are not ourselves ever.
Yeah.
Because somebody took it before us. But yeah, in general, if you're just at the very beginning and you're looking at what you want to call yourself or what you want to brand yourself as, yeah, I mean, obviously Google what that thing is, and if there's a massive pool of hits, maybe you want to look somewhere else.
Yeah, my name is a nickname of mine. I didn't see it anywhere, so when I just started doing my thing, I just went on to Twitter and went on to Twitch and went on to all the other things and got my username for me. But yeah, games and stuff will sometimes have to be Renee or Renee or something random and dumb, because sometimes I don't even want people to know that I'm playing the game under Lolrenaynay, so I can see I think I'm like grandma or something super stupid, so people don't know it's me.
Yeah, I would say in the case of like usually using the number 3 for the E to create that sort of unique identifier.
I mean, that's just so nerd, but no, like it's at the very beginning though, we all did this as a hobby, right? This was just for fun, and I don't think not nerd fusion, but just like me. And so for me, I did not think it was as important. Obviously, it was just a hobby. It's like day one, I don't even know if I'm going to do this after day 1, right? And so I don't think I had Twitter for the first month of broadcasting or so. Yeah, but it is actually very important. And even if you don't know where you're going with it, I think it's important still to establish it all.
Yeah. So for a lot of you guys who might be getting started, you're trying to build an audience, it's never too soon maybe to think about those things. I know, like in my case, if I remember, like I hear about it in the Twitch stream or something, and look for that. Like many of us, either we go directly to Twitch to look for it, or we go to Google search. And I think having that SEO helps. And so and that even gets down to that individual link that you claim. Make sure you claim it if you have a brand. Claim that unique link and own it, right? And replicate that. So that it doesn't appear. Because again, back to the like discovery, right? Like you want to be found. People hear about you in many different ways, whether it's through a friend or whatever. Like a venture, who is that person? So being able to be found so you can grow that audience and keep it attractive. So important. Okay. Now, let's see. So kind of a little bit back more to sort of PR. Like I work for a PR agency. I help companies get all their messaging straight, right? Figure out who their audience is. Sort of all the things that we talked about, providing all the strategic counsel, setting up your image, right? And conveying that out in an honest and transparent way. I think it's really important, especially for what we're talking about today. But for you guys, what would you say is the most efficient way of reaching the most amount of people possible my job, it's still, in some sense, a traditional course. Right? You write a story, and you learn about it. Or in more cases these days, it's work with you guys. Like, hey, this is really cool game, and check out. It's very relevant to what your audience wants to do. Do you guys have your own personal sort of channel for reaching sort of a new audience based on what you do, whether it's reporters or?
I mean, Twitch offers a lot of things like that for broadcasters. You know, like the partner spotlight for smaller broadcasters, and then for mid-range and for larger broadcasters. And I guess I don't really know if it's based on numbers, to be honest, but they do have a front page rotation where on the front page of Twitch, your channel will have a dedicated day of the week where you'll be on the front page, depending on priority. And then also doing brand integrations. Obviously, that's not, when you're growing, that's tougher, but once you get to the mid-range, you'll have brand integrations where you can work with brands that will then, on their own social avenues, advertise your channel. But yeah, I don't really think there's really like a traditional way for broadcasters to advertise themselves. I've yet to see a broadcaster on a billboard, although I'm waiting for that day.
Right. So, well, for example, if you're not quite yet a Twitch partner, how would aspiring streamer, a couple hundred subscribers, and growing, or engaging in creating really cool content and building brand, how do you get in with the Twitch? Like, who do you talk to get those sorts of, get that sort of spotlight or attention or whatever to help you continue to fuel this
That's where networking really comes in handy, which I was lucky enough to learn a lot about it when I was in film school before I even started doing YouTube and Twitch stuff. Yeah, just like realizing like, okay, you're not gonna, if you're in there in this chat, you're not gonna get his attention. You're like, hey, can I play a game? Like sounds mean, that's just not gonna happen. But if you search through games that you're interested in, find smaller streamers, go in the chat, engage them, maybe they'll be down to collaborate. Also having Twitch teams is really useful. I'm part of the team, and we all rate each other when we're done streaming. If someone else on the team is online, we just send our viewers over there, and it's a big pool of just sharing our audiences together. Really useful and helpful.
And if the team doesn't exist, make it. Right? Okay.
Exactly. Anyone can make a team, and you just gotta find like-minded people who want to be on it with you.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a big lofty goal. It's just it's a convenient space, like a page on Twitch that shows all people, whether it's streamed or not.
Yeah, and I think coming to shows like this, or advice from the crypto group, kind of shows like this. There's so much Twitch staff here. They have a beautiful booth. Walk up there and say, hey, I'm a new streamer. This is what I'm about. Who can I talk to? They'll find someone for you to talk to. Get to know somebody, that sort of thing. Go on to Reddit/r/Twitch. A lot of Twitch employees are there posting, being active, things like that. It's a really good way to get noticed as well.
There's also a ton of good information on Twitch Reddit. Just outside of the whole networking aspect, there's ways to make ways to improve your stream in itself, like what programs to use, the settings to use. There's just so much information on the Twitch Reddit.
I think a lot of what we're talking about here is just all the offline things you have to do, right? And I think a lot of people underestimate the amount of time they need to spend offline.
Yeah, they think that when we're live, that's our job. When we get off live, we're just going off and doing whatever, which is not the case at all.
Yeah. I mean, even this is such a big investment for you to sit up here and you're not streaming, right? And when you're not streaming, you're not. So yeah, I think it's really important. And I mentioned earlier, go to meetup.com. There are Twitch meetups that are starting all over. We're in San Francisco, about 130 people that get together monthly, every other month.
Yeah, Vancouver does one. You going to LA?
And if there isn't one in your small hometown, just make one and try to put it in classifieds or Craigslist personals or something. See if we can get it out.
That might be Twitch broadcasters to keep other broadcasters. No weird feed stuff.
Interesting thing, Lolrenaynay, that you mentioned is obviously our brand sponsors. I always see that as a potential way to align with their brand and continue building publicity. So if you're just starting out, obviously you don't quite have an audience yet, you probably don't have a brand sponsor, but would you say it's really important to go ahead and put your machine specs and the headphones you use, the keyboards, all that stuff, and be able to attract that attention as you go?
Yeah, I definitely do think that happens very often, especially when it comes to peripheral companies. They're always looking for more people to just give their stuff to and advertise their products. And then the great thing about Pax is you can go and you can talk to all these different companies who are always willing to sit and listen and chat with you, as long as you're not like weird about it. But yeah, there's a dozen other companies, also game developers too. There's so many, at Indie Mega Booth, there's so many indie game like devs who just want people to play their game. And if you're a small broadcaster being like, hey, I broadcast on Twitch and I want to play their game, either they'll like promote you on their platform, whatever that may be, Twitter or Twitch if they have their own channel, or maybe they'll like give you the game for free, or maybe they'll give you some cool swag to give to your audience. I mean, indie devs are like the coolest people, my favorite people to work with personally, because they're just so hungry to just work with other people too. They're not going to, I don't need to go and make a freaking appointment to go talk to this native AAA title person. I can just talk to a normal person and say, this game is really, really cool. How can I like share this with as many people, and how can we make this mutually beneficial?
And you bring that passion into your stream too.
Yes.
So often you find that in the developer himself, like come in and have that conversation with your audience, and just makes the whole experience really positive.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about playing like indie games is just like they'll come to my chat and they'll talk to my audience, and people are just like, whoa, you're the dev of the game, and you're like a celebrity because making games is hard, and everyone knows that. So if you can make an awesome game, people just want to play it. And yeah, that's the best way if you're growing. Go to the indie mega booth and talk to people over there too.
So the game, the machine spec, accessories you use, whatever you can, put it in there, make the presentation real nice. But I don't say don't even hesitate to reach out to them, and show what you do, and if it seems to align.
But don't be annoying.
Yeah.
Just don't want to be known. You don't want to be on the blacklist. That's
Yeah,
the
don't
worst
be
thing to be on. Yeah, and I mean, I always did, and I still do, I guess. Fake it till you make it, right? And so that's a great, like, when I had the initial batch of viewers that I had, it might have only been 30, 50 viewers, whatever it was, but to me it was 5,000. And I treated it that way. I was putting on a rock show every night, and I think that's really important. If you're just not doing your info section and things like that, just because I'm just too small to worry about that right now, you're wrong, right? And you want someone to look at you just like they look at one of us or anybody else on Twitch.
Yeah, those 30 people back then, they looked at you as a star.
And, did you ever see any positive experiences of like one of those brand companies, like whether you're part of like some sort of a program because you have built yourself up to a point now, you're a sponsor or whatever, them giving you love through like their own blog, and that leading to additional growth and profits?
I don't think it leads to as much as we would hope, but it's wonderful, and yet they do it all the time because live streamers are becoming such a big part of marketing that they get excited. They watch Twitch too, so they want to give the shout outs and things like that. It's good for everybody.
And they want everyone to know. Let's go to their page. Hey, I got this guy. What did you do?
Have you guys ever gotten engaged by traditional press? Those were positive?
Yeah, they're bored. Is what I've found. They are really bored, and they're always looking for somebody to talk to.
Yeah.
That's just my experience. Is there's always somebody in some newspaper or some magazine looking for a story.
I think with traditional media, like I've been interviewed by news outlets, like just local news and like Channel 7 and stuff. And for the most part, they're just very out of the loop, but they really want to be in the loop. They just don't know what Twitch is. And for some reason, they like don't talk to Twitch, they talk to broadcasters. But I mean, that's cool, but it's always it's very much always less about me and more about the career as a whole.
Right.
It's what is broadcasting and like, what is esports, and then I always get lumped in as a professional gamer, which is hilarious because I suck at most games I play. But yeah,
Esports, Lolrenaynay.
yeah, and it's not like an ongoing joke because I was interviewed by this news outlet and they ran a whole story about esports, and then it was my section of the interview. Like it was all about like CS:GO and League of Legends, and Renee also makes a living playing video games, and she's a professional gamer.
I'm playing those games with just that
Yeah, I was like, I don't like either of those games. And people come to my channel being like, oh, I saw you on the news, or you're a professional gamer. I'm like, oh man, I'm very disappointed.
Aren't you like, oh,
Thanks
is
for
that why you're
coming.
called Lolrenaynay, because you like League of Legends so much?
Yeah, no, and then my chat is full of being like, yeah, she plays tons of League of Legends. I'm like, great, thanks guys. I'm gonna play League of Legends.
Yeah, well, that's interesting because especially in the case of the newspaper reporter, right, you gotta think about like what their everyday job is, in a way, right? Like this is probably like a tech reporter who's like executive editor, who's like, all right, well, you know, Twitch, there's this thing blowing up, we need you to go to the store, but they're not necessarily living and breathing that like people in our industry do, right? Games reporters especially. They're passionate about the games, that's why they're there, and they understand it better than those bigger mainstream outlets do. But to that point, you know, imagine that to prepare for that interview, like kind of get a better understanding what they might be looking for. And then think
I'm
about
always
messaging.
prepared to answer the how much do you make a question and
Yeah.
find a way to dodge that so I don't have to.
But you gotta do that for that, right? And,
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's like I don't advertise what I make, but I also, because I know that the reason they're asking that question is because they want to see how much of a legitimate career this is.
Right.
Like they hear all these people making money playing video games, and they want to know, okay, how much are they making? Is it enough to fill your gas tank, or is it enough to pay your rent, or is it enough to buy a house? They want to know how legitimate of a career it is. And
It's
so I
never the same answer because it's different for everybody.
exactly like there's not like you
There's a lot of
can-
misunderstanding about it.
Yeah, like I can have 270,000 followers and somebody else could have 80,000 followers and that person could make way more money than me. Like my numbers have no degree of like what I make for a living. Which gets really frustrating because people view me as a big broadcaster, so they assume I make thousands of dollars and think I'm a freaking millionaire. I'm like, nah dude, I live in LA, like most of my paycheck goes to my rent.
Yeah, and there's obviously a lot of public opinion about, you know, about that particular topic. So whether it's a positive thing or a negative thing, you want to find yourself in the middle of that for the sake of a story, right? So kind of thinking about yourself, and certainly, you know, not to be afraid to engage reporters, traditional press. There are really good stories that tell out there, but this all goes back to preparation and messaging, and even the stuff that you know you don't want to talk about. Like prepare for that, and that's a component of PR. Like it isn't. It's absolutely your right to not talk about something. You don't have to talk about certain things, especially you know if you're trying to build a business or build a brand. So certainly, if there's controversial things, you got to start considering what level of transparency you can give and all these things for the sake of the public and for your customers, your audience members, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of opinions about feminism, and that's a hot topic in the gaming industry. I can say one thing, and all of a sudden my Twitter is filled up with people shouting obscenities at me, saying I'm awful. And it can also go the complete opposite direction. It can be a very volatile world when it comes to controversial things. So you do have to kind of, if you want to engage that, you need to be prepared for the worst. I was always prepared for the worst.
Total Biscuit just like stopped using his Twitter
Yeah.
like 2 months ago. He's like, you know what? I'm really tired of having opinions and then having to argue why my opinions are verified. And so you gotta be kind of careful. Like obviously you have a voice. If you want to voice your opinion on social media, go for it. But be prepared. Lots of people are following you. Then there's going to be a handful that are dicks and try to
It's the internet.
try to put you down. Just be a nuisance essentially.
Yeah.
If you find yourself in a material crisis, you might be able to kind of describe how you sort of handle that with messaging and proactive communication.
Yeah, well, so OPG had a huge one with one of our other clients recently. So you may have read about the CSGO gambling scandal. I won't name any names, he was involved, wasn't telling people. So we wake up in the morning, there's a Polygon article that says, popular Twitch streamer banned for gambling. And they just used the generic stock screenshot, and it was one of our clients named King Italian. So the way it looks when you read it is King Italian was the guy who got banned for cheating. So we're like, oh my God. Like, it was like a criminal tweeting him and saying like, fuck you, like I can't believe you would do that. So we immediately go into action, send an email to Polygon, send an email to the writer, say, hey dude, like, I'm sure that's just a stock photo and we appreciate that you're using him because he's a good guy, but for the love of God, can we change the picture for this one? And it just immediately was sorted out because that sort of thing happens all the time. But if you're not watching how people are talking about you, then, they're gonna sometimes lead people to the wrong conclusions.
Yeah.
One of the nice things about Twitch is that after like 48 hours, who cares? it's one of the fastest moving kind of things in that, where, okay, that story was very good.
Yes,
But in general, like the daily drama, so to speak, you can kind of just, a day goes by and everyone just forgot about it.
Yeah.
They don't care anymore because they're back on gambling or whatever it is. Right?
Yeah, when like when Twitch introduced cheering, that was like a wild uproar for like, it was like several days, but then people just stopped whining about it, and then cheering was released to everyone, and then everyone forgot why they were all pissed off in the first place.
Because my favorite was when they muted VODs when you play music. It was happening.
Yeah. Anytime Twitch makes any change, people act like the world is melting,
It's
so
like now
everything's gonna be on fire.
nobody watches VODs that much. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Change is scary, and Tom
Change
says
is
he was a witch, so.
Fireburns.
Thanks back there, I want you to do that. Got you, man.
All right, well, thank you for that example. I think in that particular case, if you find yourself maybe in the middle of a controversy, Sevadus, especially a lot of opinion-driven stuff, you just gotta get past it. Like, you're not gonna change anyone's mind. Just convey what your thoughts are. Other people have opinions on it. Move on, right? And it's the beauty of our business. We can move on and forget. But factually correct things, like especially as you grow an audience and maybe you have a story written about you, know that if there's something that's factually inaccurate, you have every right to get that corrected. So just remember that, whether it's your don't hold back. Reporters want everything to be factually correct too, because sometimes mistakes are made. But don't hesitate to reach out. Keep an eye on the brand out there. Because it's almost everything. If something were to happen to your brand, your public personality, you can't just go start there's something that happened to you. So do what you need to do to prep, to get your messaging right, to build your identity, to be honest, transparent to the public, find those like-minded people, connecting with them, and going out and using these tools to find new, right? This, like I said, it's a big world. There's still a lot of people out there for you to engage and to bring into your community. So keep working hard, go to events, meetups, use the online tools.
Persevere, don't give up. There's lots of people, I have a lot of people who were like, yeah, I streamed for 2 years and I have 5 viewers, and then something happened and they just blew up, and now they are in the hundreds, and now some of them are in the thousands. There are people who have outgrown me, who used to be just viewers of mine, and they've now outgrown me because you are your own product. And I think the biggest thing that a lot of brand new streamers is they compare themselves to each other. But you can't compare yourself. I can't compare myself to Diction or Sevadus. We're different products. We do the same thing, but we all offer something different. And if you get caught up in that comparison game, use it analytically speaking, use it to gauge your own growth, but don't just because Diction gets more viewers than me or Sevadus gets more viewers than me, doesn't mean I suck as a streamer.
Yeah.
That just means people like his product and they like him, and I like him. Sorry. I like him, I love him, and I love Sevadus too, but we're all our own thing. I think that's like the biggest thing that a lot of small streamers get caught up in is like, oh, well, this person is bigger than me and nobody cares about my stream because I'm small. You just gotta persevere, you have to keep going.
Cool. Any final thoughts based on, the key takeaway for perhaps one final tip, one final thought on growth, building a community?
Don't drop F-bombs. I mean, that's just like what I said. Just keep going, keep trying. It's a tough world out there.
Yeah, I think one thing, I'm sorry about my voice. One thing that's really important is at first it has to be a hobby. It has to be something you love. Don't get too concerned about money or trying to make it a job. It took everybody on the stage a while to get to that point where they can actually quit their job and do this full time. It's even harder now, so go slow, go steady. Don't get discouraged by other people's growth or success, and have fun.
The best thing about Twitch is that it's growing enormously. the games industry in itself is exploding, so there is room for everyone. People will come and go, and people will find other avenues, and they will, like, it's just changing and just exploding. So don't think that you're kind of coming into it too late, because you're coming into it at just the right time.
Yeah, I think at least in my case, this is the hardest job I've ever had, right? By far.
Definitely.
This was harder than getting a PhD. This was hard. Like, and it still is hard. Every day is really, really hard. So, you know, you go into the mindset of, oh, tomorrow I'm gonna have 100 viewers. Well, you might be disappointed. But realize that it's super hard. And, you know, we managed to do it, so I think we managed to do it.
It just takes time. It's not, you can't.
Grow here.
Yeah, dye your hair red if you're a girl, dye your hair, just bearded, or grow beard if you're a
Show your pet on stream a lot.
Oh, yeah.
dude. Or do both,
Get a
dye your
ragdoll
beard.
cat.
Get a cat. Yeah, get a cat, a super cute animal of some sort, just keep it on you all the
Spoil
time.
the crap out of them.
Yeah, exploit it. That's what I do.
You're training just like sit over that.
Funny hats.
Funny hats, funny sunglasses.
Yeah, fun. Awesome. Well, we're hitting an hour now, so I think we have to wrap up. But first of all, thank you guys so much for coming.